Hello everyone. Um, okay. This is like one of my first times starting a Zoom webinar, but we had to get into Zoom webinar so that we could have more people here. Okay, let's see. Okay, hopefully the chat works. So let me know if it works. You have to make sure you set the setting to everyone instead of hosts and panelists if you wanted to engage with each other. So I'll send a message as an example. We can learn how to use Zoom webinar together. Does the chat work? Can somebody type in hello? Yes, perfect. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. I'm just trying to find our wonderful speaker here in our list of attendees. Okay. But yeah, okay. Maybe you can type in where you're calling in from, and I'm going to try and guess what time it is for you right now. All right. I think it's like 7 p.m. in Nigeria, if anyone's in that time zone. And then it's 11:30 p.m. in India. Ooh, Poland, Jamaica, Sweden. Okay, yeah, I'm not as familiar with those time zones. Okay, so yeah, this might be a little bit too hard. Okay, Ontario, I know because I'm in Vancouver, BC, and Ontario is just 3 hours away. South Africa, Saudi Arabia, US. Thanks so much for sharing. Okay, so Sweden, it's 8 p.m. Thank you for joining so late. UK, what time is it there? I want to say 5 p.m. But thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna start sharing my screen and then we can get started. Let me just try and find this our panelist. I'm so excited for you guys to hear his story. Okay, perfect. I'll talk a little bit about entry level and then we'll get started. So let me share my screen. Hopefully you already know who we are, but if not, we will let you know. Okay. Can everyone see that? Perfect. So basically about entry level, we want to help you learn and get experience so that you can get hired. And we offer all of these courses. We actually have a new course called Front-End Web Development. And it's really exciting. You get to learn coding, but on Webflow. So it's a lot easier than actually learning how to code. And I love Webflow. Some house rules before we start: please be respectful and don't spam the chat. Writing down where you're from, networking is fine, but don't say anything super inappropriate. And also keep your mics muted, but I don't think you can unmute anyway. Okay, perfect. I want to know a little bit more about you so I can ask our panelists whenever I find him some more tailored questions specific to you. So can you let me know if you're 1, a complete beginner to tech, 2, you've taken a few courses, maybe entry-level courses, 3, you've landed an internship in tech, or 4, you are already working in tech? Okay, looks like a lot of people. Oh, okay. Okay, so a lot of people are number 2, so taking a few courses. We have somebody currently working in tech. That's awesome. Okay, so yay. Okay, I found the panelist. Promote to panelist. Did it work? Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for sharing. So basically, a lot of people here are complete beginners or they've taken a few courses. Wow, Jacinta, you've taken a few courses and you're working in tech. That's amazing. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, everyone. Yeah, so a little bit more about us. We want to reskill 1 billion people by 2030, and you're helping us with our mission by being here right now. And as I said, these are some of our courses available right now. And this is what you get if you take one of our courses. You have a certificate, a portfolio project, and you get community feedback. Awesome. That is a little bit about us. Now without further ado, let's introduce our panelists. So here, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm able to unmute myself. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Good to have you. I'm
That's
happy to
awesome.
be here.
Yeah. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Mbanefo Chinonyelum. I'm actually taking a career on as a growth product manager. I'm from Nigeria, and it's been an awesome experience finding entry level and also having a great experience with all the experience I've had.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's awesome. You also took like 6 courses with us. So I'm very excited to hear all about that. Thank you so much for being here. Another thing is if anyone here has questions, feel free to put it in the chat and I will be saving those questions to ask at the end. So feel free to just put in your questions whenever. So my first question for you, was it Mbanefo?
Yes, Mbanefo.
Did I pronounce that right? Mbanefo.
Yes,
Okay.
great.
Thank you. Yeah, so can you tell us your story from the very beginning? Like, how did you start learning?
Okay, I started my journey, I think, September 2022. I actually started taking a course on business analysis and software testing with a particular company. And thank God I found EntryLevel because they actually didn't deliver exactly what they were, at the end of the day, it was a total mess. So I quickly pivoted to EntryLevel, and the first course I took was on product management, and it actually aligned with my interest. I enjoy creativity, so it's something that resonated with me. Then after that, I started, digging deep to find how relevant product management is, and I realized that if you are able to conceptualize, that is following the design thinking process, you should be able to also show what you can do. That's why I went for the UI UX. And after you've developed the product, you should be able to also track the performance, and that's why I went for the growth marketing. So I just had to align these skills in order for me to feel competent and proficient, and of course I might be opportune to work with a startup, so this will make me stand out. So that's the reason I went for those courses.
So you took product management and then you learned design thinking with the UX course, and then you tracked performance with growth marketing, and all those skills helped you in your career. How long did it take you to do all those courses?
Okay, initially I took the product management level 1 first. Then, because I was hungry, I needed to, catch up with time, because I knew I got to know that I was ignorant, so I needed to catch up with time. I took product management level 2. Then I went on with UI UX. So, and interestingly, it was doing that together was more like a refresher for me for product level 1, because it entails user research. All right, so that took me 6 weeks, the first 6 weeks, then the second 6 weeks. I did 2 courses in second 6 weeks, so that's the duration.
So all the classes, so you took product management 1 in 6 weeks, and then after PM2 6 weeks. So I'm assuming this took you a few months.
No, I did product management level 2 and UI UX within same 6 weeks.
Wow.
Yes. That's what
Did
I
you have
did.
anything else going on, or like it seems so busy to do both at the same time?
Yeah, yeah. I'd reach out to you and you told me it was going to be very difficult, but the hunger kept me. And of course, one of the strategy you all implemented was to keep awake. So my night from 12 till 6, I was absolutely studying.
Wait, 12 a.m.
So
to 6 a.m.?
yes, I was actually studying.
Wait, but when did you sleep?
No, so actually I practiced that back then in the university. So it was very easy for me to do that. I read for a very long time. I'm a kind of nocturnal person. So that was how I wouldn't recommend anyone doing that anyway, but that's my own strategy in order to be able to catch up.
Wow, okay. I admire the hunger, but I don't think I can sacrifice my sleep like this. It sounds
And
like
I've
it
not
paid off.
stopped. Yeah, sure. It paid off because it's helped me to be able to, speak the language of other with the tech guys. And one other thing that helped me was I started up a project also. I started up a project. So, and as a product manager, you are leading a team, right? So I built that team in order to strengthen my skill. And as of today, it's taking a different shape already. And we had our first venture capital reaching out to us already on a project. I just, wanted to, but my ideology at the same time was I wanted to acquire skill to solve a problem, right? I've been into the agricultural sector and we have a lot of issues, right? Limited access to market, limited access to finance, and all of that. So I needed to create a tech product. Though I was using that to practice, but at the same time, I was also looking forward to use that to solve a problem. So that just married, and I was able to build a global team. Some of my teams are from United States, Indian, Chinese. It's a global team anyway. So that helped me. If I have not gone through entry level, I think I would have messed myself up. So thank God for EntryLevel for giving me the opportunity to be able to manage my team and earn the respect without them really knowing that I just got those skills. And that's why I love EntryLevel. EntryLevel puts you on sports like global standard knowledge.
Oh, thank you so much for the kind words. It's why I love working here because I love seeing the students we impact. Because everyone I talk to who is successful, they have that hunger for growth like you do. So I really admire that. We have a question from the audience. So you mentioned studying from 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. Were there any other barriers that you faced while learning?
Um, Sincerely, EntryLevel is itself, is it DIY, do it for yourself. So it's very easy to navigate. The only thing that I had issue then was while I was trying to join the team, the Discord, that was, taking me out of the platform. I found that very difficult, but EntryLevel actually exposed me to Discord. And guess what? It's the same Discord I'm using to, organize the team that is working on my project. So EntryLevel exposed me to Discord and, I moved on with that, right? But I think the experience has been very smooth. I don't have any challenge at all. It's clear and simple to
Uh,
navigate.
Yeah, that's so cool because I heard that from another student who landed a job after EntryLevel. She said she never did Discord before, but after she started joining communities and then landed a job after that because she was familiar with Discord. So
Yeah, it's an
thanks for
awesome product. Yeah.
yeah. You said you organized a project together. So how did you find all these people to do the project with?
Okay. I discovered a platform called Democracy Lab. So I, packaged my project and made it available on the platform. And surprisingly, people got interested in the project. So we started working on it. So we have product managers, we have product designers, and most of them some of the people who have also finished, taking courses or might have finished their master's degree in tech and all of that. So we come together and we're building this product.
That's awesome. I feel like you really get to showcase your leadership skills and everything you learned in our 6 courses because you organized this project on Discord with everyone. That's amazing.
Yes, and interesting thing, the moment I was doing that, I also jumped on venture capital, and it surprised me the value of that course. Actually, my mindset for taking up that course was I wanted to be, aware what the venture capital actually look out for from the perspective of a venture capital as a startup, right? I never knew that in the shortest time I was going to actually meet up with a venture capital, and that experience, um, learning with learning venture capital from entry level actually made me, familiar with the expectations and the language. Else, I would have had it very difficult to really understand what we were talking about. So it
Wow.
was a great experience. Yeah.
That's so interesting. So you weren't interested in a career in venture capital, but you took the course to learn to get a better understanding to work with other
Yes,
businesses?
yes, 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 yes. I really needed to know what the venture capital were looking out for and be able to position myself to be able to meet that demand.
Oh, that's awesome. I feel like there's never anything to be lost from learning more. So taking 6 courses is really admirable. Yeah. So you took all these courses, but I think you said that your career goal was to go into like growth or product. So I was wondering, like, how did you decide which career to pursue?
Um, okay, I told you I joined a particular company to train, and I felt lost, and also I didn't have that clear guidance. So, but because I had this passion as an entrepreneur, I was able to resonate with product management, and I love creating something, creating product, right? Creating. So that was how I was able to resonate with product management. And also I saw the connection with, my ideology is, as a leader, you should know at least average of what your team knows so that you can be able to demand performance, right? So the essence of actually trying to spread your knowledge is for you to be able to know. Like, I was talking to one of our digital marketer where he was trying to do an SEO and all of that. So if I had not gone ahead to learn about it, I will understand what growth market is all about. I won't be able to guide and instruct, okay, no, this is what we expect from you, right? So I think I'm working more from the perspective of an entrepreneur than someone who is actually looking up for a job.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. So I loved what you said about as a leader, you need to know the average of what your team knows because that's so accurate because otherwise you're not sure if they're lying to you or not about what can be done.
Yeah.
Um, Perfect. So did you have any time management tips while learning?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I already, I'm very much acclimatized with, staying up at night because that's the only time my head is calm. Though I sleep few hours before, then wake up by 12 a.m. to study, right? So by 6 or 6, right? I sleep like 1 or 2 hours, then I kick off my day, right? So there's not really any technical time management. I just find studying at night very convenient for me, and that's where my body can tend to settle in to really align. And I know if I study by that time, I really try to understand what I'm doing. So for me, I don't think there's any. But if you are someone that work, all right, and you have a very tight schedule, 1 or 2 hours, and of course you don't need to take all the multiple calls together. And if you're looking at a job, an employer is looking for specialization, someone who is, really deeply knowledgeable about what you. So you have to really focus on a particular career and ensure you have the right skill and sufficient experience. And one of the ways to get that sufficient experience is to either join a team or seek for mentorship, but ensure you are able to practice that particular skill in total. Practice your interviews for you to be able to, deliver value to your employer. Always have that at the back of your mind. It's all about delivering value to your employer. So you need to ensure that you actually up to date on the skill that is required of you.
That's so interesting because I feel like it's all about other people. You can learn tools and skills online in courses, but to get the actual experience and soft skills working in a team is where that'll be more beneficial. So a side note, is it okay for people to connect with you on LinkedIn if they have additional questions?
Sure, absolutely. I'm open to that. If there's any, but one thing I will say is entry level is something that is within the budget, and of course, it is if you want to get your money back, you have that option, right? But I think it is very very important you have access to that knowledge as lifetime, because for you to improve learning, you keep to repeat, right? You need to be able to have access to that knowledge and go back to learn over and over and over, right? For you to internalize and become a master in that particular venture. So it's very important that you have access to that knowledge, right? So I'm
Yeah.
open to anyone to ask me a question. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. I feel like investing in your knowledge is so important. So investing in relationships with other people, mentors, your community, and learning new things, it's just going to help you so much in the long run. So thanks for sharing. I want to dive more into your job search process now. So what exactly did you do after entry level to land the job?
Okay, one of the things I did was to first of all polish my LinkedIn. I had to optimize, though you have to learn how to optimize, and entry level offers some tips on that. I think Level Up, right? So you can take advantage of that. You optimize your LinkedIn profile, then you also get practical experience so that you can actually have proper engagement with whoever is interviewing. Then of course, you have to apply. You get your CV also optimized, right? And you can also experiment. One of the strategy is if you are applying for a job and you're not getting a call, it means that you need to optimize. And when you've optimized and you are being called for an interview and you're not getting your job through, it means there's a skill gap or knowledge gap. So you need to optimize your skills, right? I think with this strategy, repeating that and ensuring that you're actually on the job search actively, you're going to land the right job.
Okay.
And also, if there's no job, you can actually create a job, because for those who are actually product managers are potential startup founders. Yes, product managers are potential startup founders.
So would you recommend people go for startup jobs?
Sure. Startup job gives you an ample opportunity to test your skills, and of course there might be demand for multiple skill sets, right? So it's the right grind for you to really get challenged and actually engage your skills and knowledge. So of course big companies might not or established company might not have that so much opportunity for entry levels, but startups companies offer a lot of opportunity for entry level. So that should be a good goal for anyone.
Yeah, that's very interesting because I think it's easier to get a startup's attention more because there's less people. So you can just directly message the people on LinkedIn, and that way you might get hired. But you
Definitely.
also, yeah, you also mentioned about how you need to optimize and improve. So what happens if you go for an interview or you send your resume and they just reject you without giving feedback? So how do you know what to improve at that point?
Um, okay, one of the experimentation is okay, first of all, you need to actually have a way to request for feedback, right? You can write an email, or at that point you could ask if there's anything that always try and request for feedback, right? And if there's no feedback, if you're actually experimenting, maybe you have your current version and your optimized version, and you're doing a 50-50 use of those versions to apply for job. Those feedbacks of either rejection or scaling through is actually a matrix for you to look out for and give an idea of what is actually going on, if your optimized CV is actually effective or your current CV is actually effective. Then you need mentorship. Mentorship system becomes effective in this process. Someone needs to guide you. You can't know it all, so you need to seek for a mentor who will tell this your experience. Probably what are the questions that were asked, what were your responses, and a mentor can easily spot where you're having gaps and you can improve on that. That's my own approach to that.
So I think what you said about asking for feedback is very important because a lot of people don't do that, and it's how you improve. Mentorship is also a big one. Where would you find mentors though?
Wow, it's very accessible on LinkedIn. You look at people in your on your career path, right? And look at the experiences, look at what they're doing. In fact, LinkedIn has become a very interesting platform whereby you see people churning out their wealth of experience, and look at their portfolio, where they've worked, what's their years of experience. Then it's going to resonate with you to know, okay, this person can actually mentor me. So you have to coin a right message and introduce yourself and what you're. Those who have the time will definitely lend a hand to support you.
Yeah, awesome. And I assume people can reach out to you on LinkedIn if they need some help.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much. So we have another question from the audience.
Okay.
So what are some of the basic things you need to know when trying to break into tech? So this could be skills that you think are that people need to learn, or even just things that you wish your past self knew.
Okay, one of the thing I think one needs to do is actually look out for, if you don't have a preference anyway, but if you don't have a preference, look out for the particular skill that's in demand. It's a lot easier, right? Actually, right now, I'm actually also offering. I joined the company also to offer a kind of a community management service, right? All right. So, and that happened because of my knowledge in the growth marketing course, which I took, right? Which is still a subset of growth marketing. So you need to look out for where is their demand. We have UI UX, there's high demand for UI UX, there's a high demand for growth marketing, right? So you could position yourself, then when you get an entry into the job space, then you can now pivot to an area of interest. So that is one strategy that I feel that could be applied right now, right? Understand what you say, go to LinkedIn, what is the number of job rates on a particular area or career, and see how you can align yourself.
Yeah, that's awesome. So somebody also mentioned, going back to the mentorship thing, someone mentioned ADP list is also a good place.
Yes, great. Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Have you used ADP list before?
Yes, I did, but sadly, I wasn't very familiar with that platform, so I missed all the appointments.
Oh,
Sadly. And I've not really had time again to, try to, but of course, I'm pushing. I have a lot now on my table, so I'm just trying to push
yeah.
forward.
No worries. Thanks for sharing. So you also mentioned that the growth marketing course helped you in your job search by looking for where there is demand, because when you're looking for a career, not only are you looking for your personal interests, but also is that career in demand? Are people hiring for it right now? So it sounds like people need to do a lot of research. Um, we have somebody here in the audience who is a little bit confused about the right path to take. So how would you suggest figuring out which career path is right for you?
Yeah, that is going to be like call it a personalized analysis, right? Because the approach of one person may differ from the other person. So if I'm able to understand the person's story, understand the person's history, preference, right, it is easier to now dot the lines where, okay, what is it? The person's circumstances at the moment, right? So there's some courses that are more demanded, there are courses that are less demanded, right? There are tools you need to have for certain course, right? So it's actually a personalized response to that, because I can't tell this is the way to actually make a choice or a decision on the kind of course to, but you also, if you should be able to read, like EntryLevel has an overview of what each course entails, so you can just read through and just find the one that resonates. But to deep further than that, it takes probably a mentor actually helping you out, who knows how to design and help you out, ask you some questions and understand your history, what you're doing at the moment, what are your circumstances, and be able to make a recommendation. That's my opinion.
That's very insightful, because I feel like we can't just give you advice because we don't know anything about you. So having mentorship is important, someone telling you and advising you. When I was job searching, I looked at a bunch of career and I did research, and I searched up those positions on LinkedIn and connected with people and then hopped on calls with them. And they were people from all different areas of tech. So you should probably talk to some people and get their advice if you're uncertain. All of this is free, by the way, just talking to people. I'm sure they're happy to talk to you on LinkedIn for free. Um,
Abs-
yeah, have you done that before? Like, what would you suggest to message them? Do you have a template?
I think I used to have a template, but right now I can't. But I know that at the moment I have a friend who's a product manager at Microsoft in Ireland. His name is Justice Uguli. So I messaged him. I also had a contact with one Valentine, right? Just by messaging them that, okay, I have interest in this, and you see they're always writing up. And of course, you need to. One of the smart way to actually engage a mentor is read their posts, make comments, make an insight. You know, engage them. That is the smartest way to get their attention, because compliment is a strategy, right? Everyone wants to receive compliments. Someone wants to know, oh, someone is actually reading my work, or is really enjoying. Take that. Oh, you're interested, you're very much interested in that. You ask, reasonable questions, and that could, stand you out. And then you'll be more receptive when you message them, right? You may not even use any template at that point, because you've already started an engagement with their article or their content, right? So from there, you can continue your conversation. That's my opinion.
That's really smart, because you have to think from the point of view of a mentor. Any UX designers here need to think from the point of view of the user, aka the mentor. And they're busy people. So if they see you complimenting them, making comments on their LinkedIn posts, I think they're more receptive to talking to you. So that's a very good tip. Thanks for sharing. Um, what about getting experience? Do you have any tips for, what people should be putting in their portfolio, how to find projects, team members, things like that?
I think there are a lot of for me, my strategy to this with the volunteering. Okay, before I started my project, I to a hospital also. So while I joined, the owner of that project was actually not sufficient with knowledge with what is happening in tech, right? And I wasn't satisfied with their approach, and I was like, oh, I'm actually having something that tech will actually solve. And from there, I began to put that up. But jet out there, right? There are also alternatives to them, available to them. Be shocked. There are people. I have someone that has worked as a CCNN for over 16 years. The person worked on my project. I have someone who has worked with PayPal, right? An ex-PayPal staff. She's still on my project as of today. So there are a lot of wonderful people I've met on that, and very, very proficient. Some will come on the project. They have, they're just beginners. You see some people who actually have the time, they just want to volunteer, and they also mentor you while you're volunteering. So that is my own strategy for you to have hands-on experience before you actually have um, that job opportunity.
You cut out a little bit there, but what I heard was that you saw an opportunity to improve on a current project, and then you also found a lot of amazing people through networking, volunteering, and mentorship. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. And am I correct in assuming that you found some more projects and people to work with on Democracy Lab? Was it
And there are also alternatives. Yes, you can go to Google and Democracy Lab. I also have a list of them, but right now I settled in with Democracy Lab because I have a. So there are a lot of people that have so much solutions. They are looking out for people to, because the idea of volunteering is after you've, I used to have people who have zero knowledge about a particular skill wanting to volunteer. No, you must have gone through a training phase. Then you're looking for opportunity to practicalize those skills. Then that's where you become relevant for volunteering, right? So it gives you opportunity who is very much experienced, and it's a very swift way to actually uh, push your skills because you are meeting hands-on challenge that will make you go back to do research. Okay, how do I deliver this service properly? And on daily basis, you have something to actually practicalize on, so that to keep your skill active. So that is very key.
Okay, that's so interesting. So you need to learn first, like maybe take an entry-level course and
Yeah,
then
absolutely.
volunteer.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Thanks for sharing. Because I feel like if you're just volunteering without knowing what to do,
No, no,
it
no, no. It's not
can,
accepted. No, no, no. You you
yeah.
you mess the project up because you don't know what exactly. I had someone from is it from Portugal or where? She told me she went for a boot camp, and of course I request for me on my project, I request for your portfolio, right? So when you've learned a skill, try and organize a portfolio, no matter how little it is, right? Then you can now be accepted. For me, when it comes to product design, I need to see your portfolio, right? And you just have to you in this game, it's all about showing and not just telling.
Wow.
Receive and see what you can show so that you can be accepted for the next opportunity.
So I'm hearing a portfolio is super important and you need to show, not tell in your portfolio.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So do you have any tips for how people can make their portfolio?
I will say it depends on the entry level offers you that already. The moment you complete your training with entry level, is the key already, right? So entry level has made it very easy. It gives you a lead on for you to have a portfolio. So I would recommend you take an entry level course. At the end of your course, you're gonna have a portfolio. So that makes it very easy.
Yeah, I actually took some entry-level courses myself, even though I work here. And I agree. I was stuck on my UX design and data analyst portfolio for years until I took entry level. And then 6 weeks, it was done. Yeah, so we had some questions about like, how do you build your portfolio as a product manager, as a marketer? And I assume your advice for these people would be similar, like try out an entry-level course because we have a template and step-by-step guide.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. I just have a few more questions for you. So given the audience here, so for example, we have people who are mostly beginners who've taken maybe 1 or 2 tech courses. Do you have any advice for what they can do next to land a job or get more experience?
I think I've mentioned that. Can you repeat the question, please?
Oh, sorry.
Repeat the question. Repeat the question.
Yes. So what advice would you have for the students here who have done a few courses, are still beginner in tech, and they want to land a job?
Yes, I said it earlier. One of the things you need to do is to, okay, a practical step. When you've completed a course, right? You do two things. You look out for uh, job adverts, multiple job adverts, right? Try to research what is that recurrent demand, skill demands, or job description. Sieve them out and check use it to analyze yourself. Can I do this? Can I do that? Right? If you find that you cannot do a certain thing, then you need to asterisk it that okay, you have a skill gap or knowledge gap in this, right? So what do you do next? You need to find a way to close up that gap through learning or through a project, right? Then you need to optimize your CV. Go to LinkedIn, optimize your LinkedIn, right? All of this strategy are already made available. If you're a subscriber to Level Up, yeah, all those information are already there. So you just come into the community, entry level. I am not being paid for this entry level. I'm just sharing my own experience, right? I'm not being paid by entry level. So I'm just sharing this experience that if you come into the community of entry level, you have all of this, handy, right? You when you're done, you sign up with entry level community or newsletters. You see all these steps and strategies on how to navigate. All right. So it's just take time to study. There are people who have also been interviewed on this platform job opportunities and they've shared their strategy. You can go and listen to their also. But the step is you really need to understand what is the demand on that job. Sure that you don't have a skill gap on that. Then you have entry level portfolio. You can also engage in joining some projects to improve your skill and package your portfolio properly, and also do your job search and optimize your CV. Optimizing your CV is all about there's a technique for all of that, right? It's not something we can just say in a hurry at the moment. Even for LinkedIn optimization, there are things you need to put there. You need to learn about it. Now you know there is LinkedIn optimization. Research what is LinkedIn optimization. You know there is CV optimization. Research what is CV optimization, and you have all of this on entry level platform. Thank you.
Okay. First of all, thank you so much for bringing up the Level Up newsletter, because every week I'm sharing these career tips, where to find tech jobs, and I hope people are reading it and finding it useful. So I really appreciate it because I put hours of work writing those every week. I love what you said about really studying and doing skills gaps. So if I were to make a to-do list for everyone here, because if you're here, you're already engaged in the tech community, you're already almost there. So first, research the current job, what's in demand, do a skills gap analysis and understand what you still need to improve on, and then start optimizing based on your research. All of our resources are on our website, and I will email it all out to you along with the recording. So thank you so much. If anyone has any questions, you can check out Mben. Oh, I lost the pronunciation. Is it Mbenefo? Mbenefo? No, I'm sorry. Could you pronounce your name for me again? Mbenefo? Mbenefo. Did I get it?
Mbanefo.
Mbenefo. Okay, I'm gonna remember it.
Mbanefo.
Mbenefo.
Yeah.
Mbenefo. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Yeah.
So yeah, feel free to message Mbanefo on LinkedIn or email us at any time. If you would like to subscribe to the newsletter, which I spend hours writing every week to help you break into tech, I just dropped the link in the chat, but I will also email it out alongside the recording. So don't worry if you missed anything or if you joined late. Okay, so
Someone said, sorry,
yeah.
Jennifer.
Yeah.
I think people need to be aware. We had some, I don't know if there's still people who experienced the payment issue. I think right now is in Naira. And also someone is saying there's increment in price. I think it's due to the exchange rate. I think I did all my course, I think 3,000 Naira. 3,000 Naira then. I did all my courses. If I got to a point when the price was supposed to change, I ensured I bought my courses. Those they were very paramount to me. I ensured I bought all of them. So price has changed because one, they had to, get a Naira account for us to be able to access it, because there's a period I waited for a very long time because we couldn't. The Nigerian government actually limited our access to make payments with our Naira debit cards. So EntryLevel has worked very hard to, make it easy by having also the price change is not EntryLevel's issue. It is our Nigerian government from Nigeria.
Wow, thank you so much for explaining this. I feel
Yes,
like, yeah.
I saw some of the comments.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like you know it way better than me, and I work here, so I really appreciate it. So regarding payment, I know not everyone here is in Nigeria. So if you are in Nigeria, we do accept Paystack and Stripe credit card payments. If you are outside of Nigeria, I think we also accept PayPal. Yeah. And if you have any more difficulties, you can just email us at support@entrylevel.net. I'm not as familiar with the currency conversion, so you can check it out on our website or by emailing us. One more question for you, Mbanefo. Did I get it?
You can call me MC for short, please, instead of frustrating yourself with
No, I can do it. Mbanefo.
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 Yeah.
Mbanefo. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
One more question.
All
I
right.
saw that I remember you said you took two courses at the same time, and some other people are
Yeah.
wondering, can they also do the same thing? Is that recommended?
No, I will recommend that. You see, one thing about EntryLevel is they make the courses very short for it, very, very powerful. You need to internalize it, right? I will recommend a course per time. It's worth it. You need to digest it. Like I said earlier, an employer is looking for proficiency. It's not about the amount of, they're looking for mastery. It's not about the amount of, you could, and this, take it one at a time, right? Digest it, right? Because for me, I've taken most of this thing. I have a routine already, right? I have a routine that I'm going to repeat. In fact, I have a learning program, 3 year already, right? And I'll keep reading for the next 3 years. in order for me to be able to master, I want to be a master. This is my own personal decision, right? So I will recommend you to just understand where you want to play and be a master in it, right? Entry level puts you at the core of your career, like the top information. So you need to master it. It's not something you just read and you feel you know it, right? You need to master it, develop multiple portfolios, develop multiple this thing, begin to prefer those solutions, right? When you become a master, you see the revenue coming in for you and you see the jobs coming in for you. All right.
Yeah. So it sounds like taking one course at a time to better internalize it would be better.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much. For everybody who's interested in purchasing a course, you do get a refund if you complete it by the deadline. I have just created, like right now, I made a coupon code for you guys. So you can use, this is like the biggest discount I have ever given. So first of all, I dropped my email, and if you have more questions, you can send it to me there. But the discount code is tech0723. So use that code at checkout and you would get a 20% off discount.
Okay, Jennifer, I have
Yeah,
a question for you.
yes.
Right, as a product manager, I want to give a review. Can entry level have a way someone can actually pay for a particular course and take that course in a post-dated time instead of is that possible? Is there a functionality that can be incorporated, right?
Yes. So take the course at their own time instead of the structure.
No, what I mean is it possible I make payment for a course and don't commence the course immediately? Because the moment you make payment, I think it start counting, right? So
Yeah.
that you can be able to get your certificate. So is it possible for someone to be able to say, okay, I want to schedule as just I'm paying right now because maybe because of
Oh,
my financial planning and all of that, right? So can I have a way, okay, I want to pay now, but I want to take it maybe in 1 week time or 2 weeks time, right? So the moment I start taking the course, it should start counting, right?
so you mean like
I,
pay now, but then take the course later, like maybe a
yeah,
month
yeah,
later.
later, yeah. Is that
Okay.
possible, or is it against the company rules? Because right now there's a course I'm very much interested, which is Webflow, and
Oh.
RJ has already given me a discount on that. So, and now you just threw another discount. You see, I want to see how I can just get all of that, but I don't want to take that course immediately. I have some things I need to finish up. So you see
Okay.
now, two opportunities for me right now. So I wish that functionality was available, or I just locked it in for a future time to take this course.
Okay. That's very interesting because, okay, I don't know how many product managers are here, but I did a lot of research, user interviews and stuff. And I think timing was a big reason, but I assumed it was timing because they were busy with exams. But I think I might bump this up in priority and ask my team if we can do this. Because right now, due to restrictions in our platform, and the developers said we can only defer like maximum 2 times or something. But I'm gonna brainstorm and see how it's possible if there really is a demand here, because product management is all about prioritizing, and this wasn't high priority before, but it sounds like everyone here wants it. So yeah.
Okay, so please, I would like to have a response to that via email, please. As soon as you speak with your team, do email
Yes.
me,
Yeah.
please. I'll appreciate that.
Some people also asked for your email. I didn't know if you were comfortable giving it out, so I just linked your LinkedIn instead. But did you also want to leave your email?
I think my LinkedIn is fine, but I can also drop my email. But I think I will rather respond via LinkedIn, please. LinkedIn is preferable. It's a lot easier. I can always go back. But my email, I have a lot of emails coming in every day. I might skip.
Yeah. Okay. Um, Perfect. So feel free to, I'm gonna include all the links in the email that I send out after this call. So you'll get the recording, you'll get all the links to resources and everything. So don't worry about missing stuff. If you have more questions, you can just reply to that email I send out, or you can send us an email at support@entrylevel.net. Any questions regarding pricing, course-related questions, please just email us. The price is found on our website. It's different for different countries because of the local currency. So you need to check the website for the most updated versions. Yeah, I think that's all for today. Okay, I'm going to get your name right this time because I wrote down the pronunciation. Is it Mbanefo?
Absolutely, got it right, 100%.
Oh, thank you so much for training me on this. And thank you for being such a wonderful panelist. Your story was so inspiring. I really love that hunger that you have to grow and learn. But I hope you guys are prioritizing your sleep as well. Don't study too hard. You need to enjoy life as well. Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much, everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day or night, depending on your time zone.
Thank you for having me. I deeply appreciate it. It's an honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Oh, wow. We're getting so many good comments in the chat. I hope you're seeing this. Everyone loves and appreciates you. Awesome. Bye now.